Hi, it's Russell and Kevin from Cascade.Cloud, and in this short video we're going to be looking at what are the top 5 technologies in the cloud that are going to be big for 2019.
That's right. We'll start off with boldness in cloud adoption, which is really about more migration into the cloud. So more and more companies will obviously take on cloud services following international trends, obviously for our local market, but certainly many companies across all sorts of verticals, whether they be enterprises in financial services or mid-market manufacturing companies, there's going to be a significant uptake in migration.
Now, 2018 saw 3 buzzwords that if you were in IT and you never mentioned these words, well then you obviously did not know your stuff. And those 3 were IoT, blockchain and artificial intelligence. And what we will see in 2019 is the reality of these 3 great technologies actually becoming real. The use cases becoming real. We're already seeing a lot of that happening in the machine learning space, but watch out for this. You are going to see it being pervasive across everything.
Yes, and they will be consumed, and I'm using the word consume because this consumption model of acquiring IT services is going to be on the increase. So cloud brings with it this consumption-based model anyway, but more and more services will be based on that model. And we also foresee that people will move towards even shorter consumption cycles. A lot of that driven by adoption of things like serverless. So where serverless technologies and usage would be built in really milliseconds or hundreds of milliseconds versus a server being built on maybe a second or an hourly basis. We're seeing an increase in that mindset and spillover of that mindset into other industries and services as well.
Now the next big theme for 2019 is not a technology in itself, but it's as a result of the technology, and that's agility. Now agility in the cloud has been mentioned many times before, but what we're seeing now is that enterprises are starting to realize that startups have a competitive advantage because of their agility and their ability to do things with huge amounts of computing power and all the access that they have through the cloud. So what we're starting to see over here is that enterprises are starting to form these smaller pockets of groups that can access and be more agile, accessing cloud technology, be more agile as well. So there's a great crossover there between having agile startups, but also very agile enterprise divisions.
And of course, what is happening in 2019 and beyond in terms of infrastructure is that we're having the hyperscale cloud providers landing. So we've already got AWS Edge locations in South Africa, which is a bunch of services, not just CDN, so it's a lot more than just content delivery network and caching.
And that arrived in mid-2018?
It did, yeah, around about July timeframe, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, we had Microsoft due to announce the opening of their data centers around about now, actually, in December. So certainly will be here in 2019. And then the announcement of Amazon's data centers for 2020.
And this is going to have a huge effect, would you say?
It's, we see this as being a ubiquitous technology. I always make the joke about it. You won't notice it after a while. You'll have intelligent caching sitting on a pole outside your office, and it might just look like the box that does electricity distribution. So that's where cloud computing is going, from what I can see. And it'll make a massive difference having the infrastructure here.
Those customers who have been waiting to have the investment in South Africa are certainly seeing that commitment by these hyperscale vendors, and this is again going to drive that first point that you spoke about, which is the more migrations and having more migrations. So that's what we see for 2019. It's going to be an awesome cloud year, and we hope to see you during 2019.
Have a great year.
Cheers.